grace of God, for the good prayer of good people across the world, we want to pump this wine, and we want to say we thank God. It's just necessary for us to, let's call it pumping a champagne of praise. We might not have enough, but let's appreciate God in the very little way we could appreciate Him. And for me, it's a year of benevolence, and it's a year of greatness, a year of opportunities. I want to say, gbogbo ilẹ̀ mọ̀ yìí pé àwọn afẹ́ ajẹmáfẹ́ ọyọ́ yìí wọ́n gbógun, ṣùgbọ́n ní ìgbà tí ó yá òdodo farahàn, òtítọ́ ó farahàn, èké tí wọ́n fẹ́ sọ di òótọ́, èké ó farahàn bí èké, irọ́ tí wọ́n fẹ́ sọ di òótọ́, irọ́ náà ó rọ wọ́n, ó farahàn bí irọ́, òdodo èyí tí Ọlọ́run jogún fún àwa àti ẹ̀yin, Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó farahàn, nítorí pé nígbà míì oríṣiríṣi kan ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Baba Adeboye has been able to maintain the ethic of Christianity by not using police to arrest any of his critics, by not using the court of law to humiliate, to harass, or to debase any of his critics. In fact, Baba Adeboye, the man E.A. Adeboye, he has gone further in even trying to adjust. You see that anytime there's a criticism around him, anytime there's an abuse over something in his church, this man goes to the level of adjusting. You will see he will just change, except if that noise didn't get to his table or didn't get to his attention. Wọ́n máa sọ fún mi pé kò ṣe gbèsè, pé lọ tọ́jú èèyàn, kò ṣe nìkan, kò sí nǹkan tí èèyàn ṣe fún ìránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run ọ̀ tí wòlíì gidi sọ yẹ kó ṣe tí kò ní èrè. Bíbélì fi wá pé tí a bá bá wòlíì rìn, ẹni tó bá gba ọ̀rọ̀ wòlíì gbọ́ á jèrè wòlíì. Lóòtítọ́ àwọn wòlíì ká wà o, àwọn wòlíì bálámù wà o, àwọn wòlíì oṣó wà o, gbogbo náà lọ ní kọ́sítọ́mà tiwọn náà, gbogbo ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ lẹ ti rọ́ọ̀lù. Ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí ẹ bá pàdé wòlíì òtítọ́ tó ń fi ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run bọ yín, tó dẹ̀ ń sọ, tó ń rí bẹ́ẹ̀, tẹ́lẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ìpè ẹ̀ dájú, kò sí tó bad. Èèwọ̀ wá ní fún yín pé kí wọ́n máa sọ pé kí wọ́n gbẹ́jọ́ wòlíì A kẹgbẹ́ lọ fún B, kẹ́ni ẹ fẹ́ ní ìlówó, ẹni ó gba yín. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe ń ṣe, màlẹ́kà wòlíì yẹn á máa ṣépè fún yín. Tó ẹ pé wòlíì òtítọ́ ni o, ṣùgbọ́n tó ẹ pé wòlíì ìkà ni, kò sí nǹkan tó máa lè ṣe fún yín, torí Bíbélì ní ká má ṣe bẹ̀rù wọn. Bíbélì ní ká má bẹ̀rù irú àwọn wòlíì bẹ́ẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n tó ẹ pé wòlíì òtítọ́, kò sí nǹkan tó sọnù sọ́dọ̀ wòlíì, ìgbàgbọ́ ẹ nìkan ló need láti mú ẹ lára dá. Ògbóhùn tí àwọn activities around here tó bá ti ń suggest pé nǹkan ò dẹrùn, kúrò ń bẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wà nínú ẹ̀mí nínú 2025. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣọ́ra fún àwọn nǹkan tó lè ba ògo wa jẹ́ tàbí tó lè bo ògo wa mọ́lẹ̀. Ẹni tó mọ̀ wípé kò bá ẹ lára mu, tí ìwẹ̀ ò bá tiẹ̀ mu, yẹra fún. Kì í ṣe pé o ò lè fi gbàgbọ́ bá a lò, bọ̀ fi ọgbọ́n bá a lò. Nítorí pé kí nǹkan ẹ̀ má bàa ba nǹkan tiẹ̀ jẹ́. Kí ni nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ kó yé wa nínú 2025 pé àwọn ènìyàn, àwọn the tribe, ẹ̀yà àwọn èèyàn búburú wọ́n wà lọ́tọ̀. Ẹ̀yà àwọn èèyàn búburú kò sí ní tó lè ṣe fún wọn, ibi ló máa fi san. Ẹ̀yin olùṣọ́ àgùntàn tí ẹ ń gbàdúrà, tí ẹ ń yẹ wá sí, tẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ kójú tì wá ní agbára ṣe Èdùmàrè. Ire owó, ire ọmọ, ire ayọ̀, ire àlàáfíà tó ń jẹ́ baálé ọ̀rọ̀, ire ìṣẹ́gun lórí àwọn ọ̀tá tó ń jẹ́ olúperí, ìṣẹ́gun ńlá, ìṣẹ́gun tó jọjọ́ rí wọn lọ. Ire ìṣẹ́gun, orí ìṣẹ́gun lórí àwọn ọ̀tá yín, ẹ ó máa rí, ẹ ó máa ka, ẹ̀yin lẹ ó máa rẹ́rìn, àwọn ọ̀tá yín ni ó máa sunkún. Ó ní kán máa gbó bí ajá káàkiri, gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìwé Psalm 59 verse 6. Ó ní kán máa rìn kiri gbogbo ìgboro, kán gbó bí ajá. Onígbà tó bá lọ tó bá bọ̀ ní ìrọ̀lẹ́, ó ní wọ́n á febi sùn. Ìyẹn tẹ́ bá wò Psalm náà délẹ̀. So lágbára Ọlọ́run, ire owó, ire ọlá, ire ayọ̀, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọ̀tá yín wọ́n máa gbó bí ajá náà ni. happy New Year, happy 2025, happy brand atmosphere for everyone around the world, for all our friends, for everyone that appreciates the value of our broadcast, the value of our service. We want to welcome you to a very wonderful 2025, year 2025. This is just a kind of an advisory broadcast, a broadcast to greet all our viewers, to thank you, to appreciate you, and to say thank you for being very loyal. Thank you for being prayerfully attentive to our broadcasts, to our works, to our activities. It is just one of those things. We want to thank God. Last year was a very interesting one. We had a different edition about people, about life, about environment, about how the mind of man can work. And we saw a lot of things happen. And today we just want to say we are here to thank everyone, both the old, the new, the good, the bad, and maybe we should share the ugly too. People that love us for what we do and people that hate us for what we do. We want to say thank you. Thank you. Today is Saturday, the 4th of January, year 2025, and we are sometime around 12 o'clock, some minute past 12 in the afternoon. And I just thought it's well that we should appreciate and we should talk to ourselves. We should welcome ourselves into the year with a broadcast like this. We have faced so much challenges in the last 1 year, in the last 2-3 years. We faced some silent challenges that through your prayers, through your spiritual intervention, through your well-wishing activities, well-wishing behavior that we're able to conquer. And to start today with, let's pump a bottle of wine. I'm going to start with wine. I'm going to say, because the good thing is that 2025 came. Last year, a lot of people wanted us to fall by the side. A lot of people, some people, I don't want to say a lot of people, but some people who misconstrued what we are doing. They lay curses. Some even went up to the level of laying curses on the altar. They did a whole lot of unspeakable things that only God Almighty was able to help us nip in the bud. And for the grace of God, for the good prayer of good people across the world, we want to pump this wine. And we want to say we thank God. It's just necessary for us to, let's call it pumping a champagne of praise. We might not have enough, but let's appreciate God in the very little way we could appreciate Him. And for me, it's a year of benevolence, and it's a year of greatness, a year of opportunities. I want to say, thank God. Well, it's a brave action, and we just say we're going to take it in a very wonderful way. And everybody watching us, you can do the same thing with us, either with a bottle of water or with a jug of wine, or definitely with a bottle of wine, anyhow you feel, anyhow you think is okay for you, why not? For us here, we want to say we toast this bottle of wine to good health this year, to unlimited openings of wealth and innovation that brings wealth, innovation that brings healing to the world, innovation that brings healing to the family of men, innovation that brings healing to the spiritual body of the church. We toast to greatness, we toast to happiness, we toast to the goodness of God in our life. However, 2025 sneak in like a new bride in a new community. You know, many of you that are bachelors, you live in your neighborhood, lonely and strongly for years. And after some time, you have the beautiful opportunity of answering to the call of nature, and you have a bride. Maybe you have been seeing her for years, and you come back, you bring into the neighborhood with a beautiful bride, a beautiful wife, and everybody begin to relate with you in a very different way, because now you have a wife, you have, somebody that makes you complete, that makes you look beautiful. So 2025 centered in like a bride, like a new bride, and from all the hula baloo of last year, 2024, really 2024 was not really too bad a year, but it was a year with a whole lot of intrigues, a year of a kind of persecution. It was like the beginning of the year was poisoned, atmosphere wise. Some people want the evil to take lead. People had cause to run into problems that they didn't prepare for. We were victims, some people were victims, and all sort of assorted liabilities and all that. But we want to thank God. God manifested, God raised the bar, God was there for us in all ramification. Jesus is Lord, and forever, today, right now, till tomorrow, till every time, Jesus is Lord. Because what we experienced last year until this year, we took a little back into the year, but not to talk about it much. We want to see victory is ascertained, and God is on our side. Because last year, like I mentioned initially, there are a lot of challenges. People wanted things to go very wrong. People wanted us to shut our track. People wanted to trespass on our creativity. But God, the owner of all souls, God, the owner of all innovation, said no. And today we are here. This is the 4th day, Saturday 4th. That is January 2025. And I will make the broadcast in both language, from English to Yoruba. Let me say it in my native language, that adúpẹ́ ní ọwọ́ Ọlọ́run fún ọdún tuntun tí a wà yìí, nítorí pé ọ̀rọ̀ yìí abẹ́fẹ́gbẹ̀rẹ̀ wa níyànjú náà ni. Ọdún 2025 ló wọlé bí arẹwà aya tuntun tí a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gbé ní àdúgbò. Ẹ mọ̀ pé ẹni tó bá ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ fẹ́yàwó ní àdúgbò, gbogbo ayé, gbogbo èèyàn ló máa mọ̀. Adélébọ̀ tó ti ń gbé fọjọ́ pípẹ́ tí kò sí olùrànlọ́wọ́, ṣùgbọ́n tó wá di pé àwa gbé ìyàwó tuntun, gbogbo ayé á mọ̀ pé nǹkan tuntun ti ṣẹlẹ̀. Bó ṣe ń ṣe sí wa á tún yàtọ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọdún 2025 ṣe wọlé bí ayé àṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀fẹ́. Ọdún náà jẹ́ ọdún ayọ̀. Mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé lágbára Ọlọ́run, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò wá, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ Asabe Africa TV, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò wá, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ tó fẹ́ channel wa ìkejì Tẹ̀tẹ̀rẹ̀gùn TV, lágbára Ọlọ́run, ire á máa bá yín jí nínú ọdún yìí. Ire owó, ire ọlá, ire àlàáfíà, èyí tó jẹ́ baálẹ̀ fún ọrọ̀, ire náà á máa bá yín gbé. Ọdún yìí àjọ̀dún á tún máa yabo fún yín. Ọdún àjọ̀dún ayọ̀. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ní ọmọ tó dàbí pé èṣù ti kọ ẹ̀yin ọmọ yín sí yín, Ọlọ́run á mú àlàáfíà wá fún yín lórúkọ Jésù. Kí la wá fẹ́ sọ? N tá ń sọ ni pé a dúpẹ́ ní Ọlọ́run, nítorí pé ní ọdún tó kọjá, àwọn abatẹnijẹ́, àwọn afẹ́ajẹmáfẹ́ayó, àwọn èèyàn ìkà, àwọn èèyàn wọ̀bìà, a dúpẹ́ nítorí pé kí la ń sọ? Nínú ọdún tó kọjá oríṣiríṣi kan ló ṣẹlẹ̀. Ìdí tí ó ṣe jẹ́ pé ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀pẹ̀ la fi wáìnì la fi sọ pé a fi ṣe ìtùnú fún ètò yìí. A fi ṣe ìtùnú dẹ̀ ṣe la máa ṣe, ayọ̀ la ó máa rí. ayọ̀ la ó máa bá pàdé. Ayọ̀ ní fún wa ní ọdún tuntun, ayọ̀ ìgbéga, ayọ̀ ìgbélékè, ayọ̀ ọlá, ayọ̀ ọrọ̀, ayọ̀ ìbùkún fún gbogbo wa àti gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ń wo Asabe Africa, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ fẹ́ wa dénú, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ fi tọkàntọkàn tẹ́ fi ń bá wa lò, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń fẹ́ àlàáfíà fún wa nípa ti ara àti nípa ti ẹ̀mí, ẹ̀yin olùṣọ́ àgùntàn tí ẹ ń gbàdúrà, tí ẹ ń yẹ wa sí, tẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ kójú tì wá ní agbára ṣe Èdùmàrè. Ire owó, ire ọmọ, ire ayọ̀, ire àlàáfíà tó ń jẹ́ baálé ọrọ̀, ire ìṣẹ́gun lórí àwọn ọ̀tá tó ń jẹ́ olúperí, ìṣẹ́gun ńlá, ìṣẹ́gun tó jọjọ́ rí wọn lọ, ire ìṣẹ́gun, orí ìṣẹ́gun lórí àwọn ọ̀tá yín ẹ ó máa rí, ẹ ó máa ka, ẹ̀yin lẹ ó máa rẹ́rìn, àwọn ọ̀tá yín ni ó máa sunkún. Ó ní kán máa gbó bí ajá káàkiri gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìwé Psalm 59 verse 6. Ó ní kán máa rìn kiri gbogbo ìgboro kán gbó bí ajá. Onígbà tó bá lọ tó bá bọ̀ ní ìrọ̀lẹ́ ó ní wọ́n á febi sùn. Ìyẹn tẹ́ bá wò Psalm náà délẹ̀. So lágbára Ọlọ́run, ire owó, ire ọlá, ire ayọ̀, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọ̀tá yín wọ́n máa gbó bí ajá náà ni. Nǹkan tá à ń sọ ní pé àfẹ́gbàrá níyànjú ní ọdún tó kọjá àwọn ìjàkadì kan ṣẹlẹ̀ nípa tẹ̀mí, ṣùgbọ́n ọlá àdúrà, ọlá ìfẹ́ yín wọn ló gbé wa ró. Àwọn amúniṣe ni àwọn tó ń súnmọ́ ni, tó yẹ pé tí a bá súnmọ́ wọn, tá a bá wọn dòwò pọ̀, á tún yá, nǹkan á tún yíwọ́. Àwọn wọ̀nyí oríṣiríṣi ìjà láàárín, oríṣiríṣi nǹkan tá a lérò ló ṣẹlẹ̀, ṣùgbọ́n Ọlọ́run gbà wá. Nítorí ẹ̀ la fi wá sọ pé nínú ọdún yìí ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ gbàdúrà fún wa, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ rí nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀. Gbogbo yín lẹ mọ̀ yìí pé àwọn afẹ́ ajẹmáfẹ́ ọyọ́ yìí wọ́n gbógun, ṣùgbọ́n ní ìgbà tí ó yá òdodo farahàn, òtítọ́ ó farahàn. Èké tí wọ́n fẹ́ sọ di òótọ́, èké ó farahàn bí èké. Irọ́ tí wọ́n fẹ́ sọ di òótọ́, irọ́ náà ó rọ wọ́n, ó farahàn bí irọ́. Òdodo èyí tí Ọlọ́run jogún fún àwa àti ẹ̀yin, Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó farahàn, nítorí pé nígbà míì oríṣiríṣi kan ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ tó yẹ pé àwọn èèyàn wa kò kí ń yé wọn. Nígbà tí Olúwa bá ń sọ pé bí nǹkan ṣe rí rèé, pàápàá jùlọ àti pẹ́ láàrin ara wa débi pé a ti wá rí i pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ gan ní ìgbà míì tí wọ́n bá ń ja ìjà òtítọ́ tó bá dé level kan, àtúbẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní wòra ìgbàdá yìí pé ká ṣubú. Ẹlòmíì gan ò fẹ́ kí a yé ní ti òtítọ́ yìí, wọ́n kàn fẹ́ kó jẹ́ pé kíyàn ṣubú, kí àṣírí tó kó borí. Ṣùgbọ́n Ọlọ́run tó ní ayé àtọ̀run fẹ́ òdodo, Ọlọ́run tó ní wá fẹ́ òdodo. A dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ pé àwa kan wà tó yẹ pé òdodo la gbé dání, òdodo la dẹ̀ tẹ̀lé, òdodo la farati, òdodo la farasin sí. Nítorí ẹ̀ la ṣe wá dúpẹ́ pé òdodo ń lékè, òdodo dẹ̀ ṣe máa lékè dàárọ̀ yìí. Àdúrà tẹ́ ń gbà ẹ má ti jẹ́ kó dúró, nítorí pé mo mọ̀ bí ẹ pọ̀ tí ẹ gbàdúrà fún wa ní last year nígbà tí oríṣiríṣi kan ṣẹlẹ̀. Kí ni a wá fẹ́ sọ ní ọdún yìí? Kí ni báwọn ká ṣe lo ilé wa lọ́dún yìí? Ní ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan nínú ọdún yìí lágbára Ọlọ́run, a máa múru broadcast báyìí wá tá máa ti máa sọ àwọn nǹkan tí ojú rí, bóyá ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa máa kọ́gbọ́n láti inú ẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n ká tó lọ sínú yẹn, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nínú ọdún yìí ẹ jẹ́ kí a farabalẹ̀ ká wòra wa gidigidi, ká bá ara wa sọ òtítọ́ tó ń jẹ́ òdodo, ká bá ara sọ̀rọ̀ òdodo tó ń jẹ́ òtítọ́ nínú ọ̀rọ̀, ká má tanra wa jẹ. Àwọn philosopher tán ní agbára jù wọ́n sọ wípé the first law life ni pé man know thyself. Ẹ jẹ́ padà sí English. The great philosophers of our time, the Greek philosophers, if you read history, if you read philosophy, the first law is man know thyself. The moment you know yourself, you will be able to tell yourself the truth. So, and in 2025, the first thing that we should do is to know ourselves. You look at our channel, you see that most of the broadcast is geared toward moral reform. We talk to men of God, we talk to prophets. And why do we talk to prophets? Because we look at the Bible critically and we discover that the first republics in the Bible the first political republics from Genesis down to the last book of the Old Testament, we discover that the prophets were the real political drivers until when the generation of Israelites decided to call on to Prophet Samuel to give them a king. From the beginning of the world, prophets have always directed the affairs of nations. God has always directed the affairs of men through the clairvoyance of the prophets. But because today we are being carried off, we are being misguided either by the principle of globalization or through the accident of culture, tradition, and all the rest. We don't look into the ministry of the prophet for guidance. We don't take them serious. We look at that sector of the religious community as a non-conforming sector, but that is the real sector. That is where every other thing is built when it comes to living in this world, when it comes to success. Our channel have, can we call it, a team of people, resource people who are mostly evangelists of God, prophets, and people in the clergy community. And we started this since 2016 when we started officially. We didn't miss our gate. We didn't miss what? We spice it up with secular people at times, but when you look at our secular people, they are people of elderly intelligence, people of what can I call it? People of veteran perspective to life, people who have gone through all the crucible of life, who have experienced very deep experiences to share so that all of us can grab. And I want to say that I want to appreciate the fact that a lot of you indeed are benefiting from our community of prophets, and a lot of you also cheer us up for interviewing elderly people that give us direction, people who have seen it all, who have been able to see both the good and the bad and the ugly side of life, the accident of nature, the beauty of times, the beauty of evolution and all the rest. So we search for them, we look out for them, and we bring them to your views so that you could learn one or two things. Yes, it's our way of doing things. Some of you abuse us, some of you say all sort of things to us. You say all sort of good and bad, nasty things. Some call us all sort of names, but that is not even that is not the point. Our point is to disseminate information in our own style. So what are we saying this year? This year we want you to be very, very careful. Last year we dealt with a lot of issues that has to do with the church, and I want to let you know that the church is a very special hub. Right from when I was a young boy, I saw the church at a very close range. My parents were into the church business. I don't want to say much about their personalities right now, but we saw situations whereby people that were close to us in the church were the real people that dealt us blows in certain areas of life. People that you think that, oh, this person is holy, this person is decent, this person is ethical. They were the people that decided to be funny, either misled our father, stole our fridges. Maybe they said they want to go and do the fridge and the person ran away and even left the church, took landed properties. There are businesses that our parents did with some people, and at the end of the day it turned out to be very funny. And these are people that have so much nomenclature, good nomenclatures in the church community. So you look at it and you find out that man is man, Man will always be man. And this year, we want to appeal to you that you should look at yourself. We appreciate some people in this broadcast. And in fact, and I want to quickly appreciate them before we go further. The first of all of them is Pastor Enoch ADEBOYE, the pastor in charge of Redeemed Christian Church of God. Baba ADEBOYE has really surprised me, and I want all Christians to please continue to pray for Pastor ADEBOYE and continue to appreciate him. No matter his shortcoming, no matter whatever you think he has done wrong administratively, Baba Enoch ADEBOYE is a real Christian. He's a Christian, and at the end of the day, I want to strongly believe that God will give him an access to heaven and to sit down at the right hand of our Lord Jesus Christ. And why am I saying this? In the last 10 years, more than, I've noticed that no matter the level of criticism, no matter the level of abuse, no matter the level of humiliation, no matter the level of harassment, Baba ADEBOYE has stood his ground as a Christian. He has stood his ground as a child of God. He has stood his ground as a believer. Baba ADEBOYE runs the biggest church in Nigeria and by extension in Black Africa. Of course, he inherited the ministry from the founder, that is Baba Akindayomi, Josiah Akindayomi, who is a very wonderful, gifted man of God. But you see, in running that ministry for over 50 years now, I think, Baba ADEBOYE has been able to maintain the ethic of Christianity by not using police to arrest any of his critics, by not using the court of law to humiliate, to harass, or to debase any of his critics. In fact, Baba ADEBOYE, the man E.A. ADEBOYE, he has gone further in even trying to adjust. You see that anytime there's a criticism around him, anytime there's an abuse over something in his church, this man goes to the level of adjusting. You will see he will just change, except if that noise didn't get to his table or didn't get to his attention. The moment it gets to his attention, you see him either speak about it, and you will see a transformation. Last year, 2024, when the death of a banker occurred in February, the banker Herbert Wigwe, and the story became a controversy because the late Herbert Wigwe was a member of one of the elite parishes of Redeemed Christians of God. And after death, there was a situation whereby the wife of the minister in that parish celebrated her 60th birthday, and it was a big deal all over, to the extent that the woman was not even conscious enough to identify her husband's ecclesiastical office. She brought a worldly musician to come and perform. Either she brought the worldly musician or the committee of the church, I don't know, but it became a very big media scandal. From what we gathered, the pastor, the man whose wife abused the ecclesiastical integrity of the church, he was the one that was responsible for the development of that parish. According to sources, he was the one that motivated the parish into that high octane status. But after a lot of noise, after a lot of condemnation here and there, Baba ADEBOYE was man enough to take the man off that assembly and transfer him to another assembly. And to God be the glory. I want to appreciate the man himself, that is the assembly head, whose wife unethically did what was not expected of her. I want to appreciate the fact that he was able to take that discipline. He went to that assembly in Yaba. I think that parish, the parish transferred him to his of aged people, I mean elderly people, and he was able to take the discipline from Baba Adeboye. Wọn ọba ojú Baba Adeboye jẹ, wọn sọ pé àwọn náà adẹkùrú adé lọ dá ti wálẹ̀ náà, ṣé òun nìkan ni kí ló dé. Ọkọ obìnrin yẹn ó gba ìbáwí yẹn, ó wò pé ìyàwó òun ló misbehave, pé tí ó bá ṣe pé ìgbà míì nínú iṣẹ́ ìgbàgbọ́ ọkùnrin míì ó lè capture ìyàwó ẹ̀, ó lè modify ìyàwó ẹ̀, but ìgbà míì most of àwọn ìránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run yìí ìyàwó wọn á máa ṣe jù wọ́n lọ. Ẹlòmíì ó gentle nulẹ̀, ọkọ ni níta ní gbangba ṣùgbọ́n ní inú ilé lẹ́yìn ìkùlé abo ni. So a dúpẹ́ pé ọkùnrin náà ó gba ìbáwí, ó lọ ó kúrò ní elite parish yẹn, ó dẹ̀ wá sí ibi tán ní kó máa bọ̀ kó wá fi kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ díẹ̀ nípa iṣẹ́ ìrere, wọ́n dẹ̀ gbẹ́lómi lọ síbẹ̀. So ohun tí mo sọ ni pé ẹ jẹ́ ká fi ọpẹ́ ká máa dúpẹ́. Normally mo sọ yí pé ìjọ kan máa wà tí máa ṣe a different broadcast fún Baba Adeboye, because Baba Adeboye ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan láti bú wọn fún, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan láti sọ̀rọ̀ òdì sí wọn sí, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan láti fi yẹ̀yẹ́ wọn lórí afẹ́fẹ́. Àwọn míì á jáde wọ́n á bú wọn, àwọn míì á jáde wọ́n á sọ̀rọ̀ sí wọn. Even tí bàbá bá give revelation, àwọn ẹlòmíì á jáde wọ́n á ní kò sí nǹkan irọ́ ni. But bàbá ò ever gbé ọwọ́ sókè rí, bàbá ò ever gbé ọwọ́ sókè láti sọ pé ẹ lọ fọlọ́pàá mọ́. A gbọ́ ní Redeem rí pé wọ́n ti olùṣọ́àgùntàn mọ́ ẹ̀wọ̀n fọ́dún 9 dàbí fún ọjọ́ 9 dàbí fún wákàtí 9 dàbí fún ọ̀sẹ̀ 9. Even gan tí ó bá wá sí etí Baba Adeboye, bàbá ò ní gbà kàn ṣe irú ẹ̀. Òye ìgbàgbọ́ ó yé Baba Adeboye. Kí ni Baba Adeboye then try láti ṣe? Baba Adeboye wọ́n bà Jésù lójú jẹ́, wọ́n dẹ̀ fẹ́ lọ ìjọba ọ̀run, wọ́n fẹ́ kí òye ìgbàgbọ́ kó yí àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn, kó má dàbí pé nǹkan burúkú ni Kristẹni dúró fún. Òye ìgbàgbọ́ ó yé bàbá yẹn. Lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta yẹn mo gbọ́ mọ́tẹ̀ tó ṣe fídíò kan, mi ò tí ì rí fídíò yẹn, but tá bá rí fídíò yẹn máa rí nísìn. Wọ́n ní pé Baba Adeboye sọ nínú ìpàgọ́ wọn yí pé kí gbogbo àwọn ìránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run tó ń jàgbàlagbà, àwọn tí àwọn bá ti ṣẹ̀ ní ọ̀nà kan tàbí ọ̀nà kejì kan jọ kán wá sọ fún àwọn. Pé ṣùgbọ́n tó máa ń sọ fún àwọn o, kán máa bú àwọn, kán máa jàgbé mọ́ àwọn o, kán sọ fún àwọn dẹ̀ ṣetán láti bẹ̀bẹ̀. Irú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ lè máa fi mọ̀ pé ẹni yẹn ó fẹ́ lọ sí ìjọba Ọlọ́run. Nǹkan tí Baba Adeboye ṣe yẹn lè máa fi mọ̀ pé ẹni Ọlọ́run, ẹni ẹ̀mí, ẹni àmì, ẹni ẹ̀yẹ, ẹni ìbùkún tí kò bá ojú Jésù jẹ́, ó ní Baba Adeboye. Mo fẹ́ fa àwọn kan yọ ń bẹ̀ ni o, nítorí pé Jésù ń sọ nǹkan kan ní ibì kan bí báyìí. Ó dàbí inú ìwé Matthew orí 18 láti ẹsẹ̀ 21 ló dàbọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ti jáde. Ó ní ẹ máa gbọ́ ó ní nígbà náà ni Pétérù tọ̀ wá, ó wí pé Olúwa, nígbà mélòó ni arákùnrin mi yóò ṣẹ̀ mí tí èmi ó sì fi dáríjì? Ó wá bèèrè lọ Jésù ní títí di ìgbà 7 bí? Ẹ máa gbọ́, Jésù sì wí fún un pé èmi kò wí fún ọ pé títí di ìgbà 7. Jésù sọ fún Pétérù pé Pétérù bèèrè pé tí èèyàn bá ṣẹ̀ mí lẹ́ẹ̀kínní, lẹ́ẹ̀kejì, lẹ́ẹ̀kẹta, lẹ́ẹ̀kẹrin, lẹ́ẹ̀karùn, lẹ́ẹ̀kẹfà, lẹ́ẹ̀keje, ṣèbí ìgbà yẹn ló sọ pé tó bá ti túṣẹ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kẹjọ kí n lọ fọlọ́pàá gbé tàbí kí n lọ tìmọ́lé tàbí kí n dì pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Jésù wá ń try láti sọ pé èmi ò sọ pé títí ìgbà 7 o. Ẹ máa gbọ́, èmi kò wí fún ọ pé títí di ìgbà 7 bí kò ṣe títí di ìgbà 70. Ní ìgbà 70, 7 times. That is Matthew 18 verse 21. tẹ́ bá kà délẹ̀ ẹ̀rí kan tí Jésù tó fi ìjọba ọ̀run tó fi iṣẹ́ ìránṣẹ́ wé. Then tẹ́ bá lọ wo 1 Timothy, tẹ́ bá lọ wo 1 Timothy, Timothy kìíní, ẹ jẹ́ ká wo ẹsẹ̀ kejì, ká wá wo láti verse 14. Ó ní nǹkan tí wọ́n fà yọ. That is 2 Timothy chapter 2 from verse 14. It's more than that. Tẹ́ bá wo láti chapter 2 yẹn, 1 Timothy ẹ rí ìlànà nípa ìjọsìn. Torí níta fẹ́ fi dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ bàbá Adébóyè, òun ni mo ṣe ń sọ báyìí. Àwọn kan wà tá gbọ́dọ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́. A gbọ́dọ̀ yẹ wọn sí, a dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ fàdúrà ràn lọ́wọ́. Kò sí ẹ̀bùn tá a lè fún bàbá Adébóyè mọ́ ń sìn ju ká máa fi àdúrà ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ bí kí ọjọ́ wọn kó dalẹ̀ 1, kí ẹ̀mí wọn kó gùn 2, then kí ìjọba ọ̀run kó jẹ́ successfully fún wọn. Nítorí gbogbo nǹkan tí èèyàn fi ń jẹ́ Kristẹni náà ti hù níwà, wọ́n ti gba ó ní bí a bá ń jà a kì í déni ládé, bí a bá ń jà a kì í déni ládé, àfẹ́ni tó bàjà tó ṣẹ́gun, àfẹ́ni tó bàjà tó ṣẹ́gun ogun ayé, àfẹ́ni tó bàjà tó ṣẹ́gun ogun èṣù, òun ni yóò gba adé ìṣẹ́gun onígbàgbọ́, òun ni yóò gbadé, àfẹ́ni tó bàjà tó ṣẹ́gun, òun ni yóò gbadé. Nínú ìwé Timothy yìí ẹ máa gbọ́ ó ní fún àwọn ọba àti gbogbo àwọn tí ó wà ní ipò gíga kí a lè máa lo ayé wa ní ìdákẹ́jẹ́ àti pẹ̀lẹ́ nínú gbogbo ìwà bí Ọlọ́run àti ìwà àgbà. That is 1 Timothy chapter 2 from verse 2. Ó ní fún àwọn ọba àti fún gbogbo àwọn tí ó wà ní ipò gíga kí a lè máa lo ayé wa ní ìdákẹ́jẹ́ àti pẹ̀lẹ́ nínú gbogbo ìwà bí Ọlọ́run àti ìwà àgbà. Ó ní nítorí èyí dára ó sì ṣe ìtẹ́wọ́gbà níwájú Ọlọ́run olùgbàlà. Kì í ṣe ìwà competitions alágbọ̀n bí kò lọ gbéyàn tàbí kò máa wá ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ fólùṣọ́ àgùntàn tó kúrò ní ìjọ, ká máa fi àìsàn sára àwọn èèyàn tó kúrò ní ìjọ, ká máa fi ọlọ́pàá dẹ́rù bà àwọn èèyàn, máa fi wá àwọn èèyàn kiri, máa wá ẹjọ́ sáwọn èèyàn lọ́rùn, máa wá ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ sáwọn èèyàn lọ́rùn. Kó jẹ́ pé ẹni tó bá ti wà ní ìjọ, tó bá ti kúrò ní ìjọ wọn, ó ti ṣàṣìṣe ayérayé. Ẹ máa gbọ́ ó ní ẹni tí ó ń fẹ́ kí gbogbo ènìyàn ní ìgbàlà kí wọ́n sì wà sínú ìmọ̀ òtítọ́. Nítorí Ọlọ́run kan ń bẹ onílàjà kan pẹ̀lú láàrin Ọlọ́run àti ènìyàn, òun pàápàá ènìyàn, àní Kristi Jésù. Ó ní nítorí Ọlọ́run kan ń bẹ onílàjà kan pẹ̀lú láàrin Ọlọ́run àti ènìyàn, òun pàápàá ènìyàn, àní Kristi Jésù, ẹni tó fi ara rẹ̀ ṣe ìràpadà fún gbogbo ènìyàn, fún gbogbo ènìyàn. Ẹ̀rí ni àkókò rẹ̀, àkókò ẹ̀rí ni, àkókò ẹ̀rí ni. Ó ní who gave himself a ransom for all to be testified in due time. Ó ní okay ẹ̀rí ní àkókò rẹ̀. Okay, ó ní nítorí èyí tí a yàn mí ṣe oníwàásù àti apostoli. Now ẹ jẹ́ ká kúrò ní verse 2, ẹ jẹ́ ká wá sí verse 3. Yes, ẹ jẹ́ ká wá sí verse 3. Ẹ máa gbọ́. Ẹ já wá sí verse 3. Ó ní irú ẹni tí bíṣọ́ọ̀bù ìjọ ńlá ní láti jẹ́. Ẹ má bínú pé mo gbà yín time. Ó ní òtítọ́ ni ọ̀rọ̀ náà, bí ẹnìkan bá fẹ́ oyè bíṣọ́ọ̀bù, iṣẹ́ rere ni ó ń fẹ́. Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ general overseer mi báyìí, ẹni bíi bishop, irú àwọn èèyàn bíi bàbá Adébóyè àti anybody tó pèrè ní GO. Ẹni tí kò bá ní àwọn ìwà yìí tó dẹ̀ wà ní ipò GO, ìwọ tó wà nínú ìjọ wọn ṣọ́ra nínú ọdún yìí. Ẹni tí ò ní àwọn ìwà yìí tó ń pretend, tó jẹ́ gbogbo nǹkan ẹ̀ àgàbàgebè, àyíníke, ọgbọ́n àlùmọ̀kọ́yí, ọgbọ́n bá ṣe mú nípa bá ṣe mú ní bá ṣe ń fìyà jẹ ni. Tí o bá wà nínú ìjọ wọn di ògbó Kristi mú, ṣùgbọ́n ìbádá kò fẹ̀mí darí, kò wá ìtúsílẹ̀ fún ara ẹ̀. Ó ní ǹjẹ́ bíṣọ́ọ̀bù jẹ́ aláìlẹ́gàn? Bíṣọ́ọ̀bù jẹ́ aláìlẹ́gàn, kì í ṣe ẹni tó fi ọlọ́pàá dé èèyàn mọ́lẹ̀ tí ìjọ ẹ̀ ń lọ sínú court lọ jẹ́rìí against àwọn èèyàn, táwọn èèyàn ń wọ ẹ̀wọ̀n tó wà nínú agbede ayé àtọ̀run, agbede ikú fọ́dún 9 dàbí tí nǹkan burúkú ṣẹlẹ̀ sí, tó ẹgbẹ́ táwọn èèyàn tó kúrò lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ wọ́n ń gbé ọgbẹ́ ọkàn kiri. Ǹjẹ́ bíṣọ́ọ̀bù jẹ́ aláìlẹ́gàn, ọkọ aya kan, olùṣọ́ra, aláìrékọjá, oníwà yíyẹ, olùfẹ́ àlejò ṣíṣe, ẹni tí ó lè ṣe olùkọ́, as teacher. Ẹ máa gbọ́ o. Kí ó má jẹ́ ọ̀mùtí tàbí oníjà tàbí olójú kòkòrò, bí kò ṣe onísùúrù. Kí ó má jẹ́ oníjà tàbí olólùfẹ́ owó. Ẹ lọ wo verse 3 yẹn sì, ó ní bí kò ṣe onísùúrù. Tẹ́wọ́ bàbá Adébóyè dáadáa, bàbá Adébóyè jẹ́ onísùúrù. Bí bàbá Adébóyè bá tẹ̀ máa bá ẹ jà, kò ní fi ọlọ́pàá ayé bá ẹ jà, kò ní fi court bá ẹ jà, kò ní gbé lọ ilé ẹjọ́. Á ké pe Ọlọ́run ẹ̀, Ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ dá lóhùn. Gbogbo àwọn tó ń bú bàbá Adébóyè àhálẹ́ jẹ̀bi nítorí pé èèyàn ò pé, ṣùgbọ́n ẹlòmíì tó tún bú náà Ọlọ́run tún dáríjì wá, kọ́lọ́run dáríjì yín. Ṣùgbọ́n nínú ìwà yìí pé ìwà pẹ̀lẹ́, nínú ìwà pé a sọ̀rọ̀ burúkú séèyàn, ó dẹ̀ ṣe àtúnṣe. Bàbá Adébóyè ní 101% mark. Oníwà sùúrù ni. 1 Timothy 3 yìí láti 1 to 6 ó bá bàbá Adébóyè wí. Now ẹ máa gbọ́, ẹni tí ó káwọ́ ilé ara rẹ̀ gírígírí, tó mú àwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ tẹríba pẹ̀lú ìwà àgbà gbogbo. Ṣùgbọ́n bí ènìyàn kò bá mọ bí a ti ń ṣe káwọ́ ilé ara rẹ̀, òun ò há ti ṣe lè tọ́jú ìjọ Ọlọ́run. Kí ó má jẹ́ ẹni títún. Kí ó má jẹ́ ẹni títún, kí ó má bàa gbéraga, kí ó sì ṣubú sínú ẹ̀bi èṣù. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ wo English. Not a novice, okay? Not a novice, lest being lifted up with pride, he fall into the condemnation of the devil. Ó ní kí ó má jẹ́ ẹni títún, kó má jẹ́ òpè. Ní Bíbélì try láti sọ yẹn, ẹni tó máa jẹ́ general overseer. Ó ní kó má bàa wà pọ́fì. Ẹgbẹ́ bàbá Adébóyè wà pọ́fì. Bàbá Adébóyè ní sọ fún àwọn ọlọ́pàá pé àwọn tẹ kó wá síwájú ìwòye kẹ fìbọn fọ́ wọn lórí, kẹ pa wọ́n dànù. Bàbá Adébóyè kò ń ṣeré èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀. Irú àwọn tó dẹ̀ súnmọ́ wọn náà, àwọn tó dàbí tó sún wọn bí ọmọ, àwọn náà wọ́n mú ìwà yẹn. Ẹ lè gbọ́ fọlọ́pàá gbéyàn, ẹ lè gbọ́ gbéyàn lọ ilé ẹjọ́, ẹ lè gbọ́ pé wọ́n fi ọwọ́ agbára wọ́n fi ń dì pẹ̀lú yàn. Nínú ìjọ Redeem lẹ́nìí, àwọn ọlọ́lá tó ju ọlọ́lá lọ wà ń bẹ̀, àwọn ìjòyè ńlá wọn wà ń bẹ̀, àwọn adájọ́ wọn wà ń bẹ̀, àwọn secret service officers wọn wà ń bẹ̀, àwọn ọlọ́pàá wọn wà ń bẹ̀, àwọn governor wọn wà ń bẹ̀, ibẹ̀ ni governor pọ̀ jù sí, àwọn judges wà ń bẹ̀. But Bàbá Adébóyè ò ever sọ pé ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá mi persecute ẹni ó bú mi, or ẹ bá mi gbé pastor yìí lọ sí court ó sọ̀rọ̀ mi láì dáa, or ẹ bá mi irú ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń lọ sí Redeem àti gbogbo church tó dábẹ̀ tó nírú àbẹ̀, congratulations, nítorí pé èyí tó kù, èyí tó le jù àti ṣẹ nípa tara nípa tẹ̀mí. Tẹ́ bá tún wá wo 7, ó ní ó sì yẹ kí ó ní ẹ̀rí rere pẹ̀lú lọ́dọ̀ àwọn tí ń bẹ lóde, kí ó má bàa bọ́ sínú ẹ̀gàn àti sínú ìdẹkùn èṣù. Moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without, lest he fall into reproach and the snare of the devil. Ẹni pé a ti ka ibì kan lẹ́ẹ̀kan nípa dídáríjì èèyàn. So what I'm trying to say essentially is that I want to thank Baba Pastor E.A. Adeboye. He has been able to bring good illumination to Christianity. He has not embarrassed Jesus Christ. He has not abused the faith of Christianity. Instead, he has proved to be a man of wisdom, a real typical Christian, by ignoring his critics, by listening to advice in many areas of criticism. Instead of getting angry, instead of arresting, humiliating, harassing, using courts, using judges, using police, Baba ADEBOYE would rather do a change. And that's what happened with the parish, whereby the banker died and the wife of the shepherd went partying in a very hard way. After a lot of criticism, Baba ADEBOYE removed that shepherd, relocated him to another place, and brought another person. He did a reform. And I want to thank that the pastor, Iluyomade, the shepherd, that he was able to take that query. He took it with great humility. He didn't go and start his own church. He took it in a good stride, with faith, and he went to that parish. And I know that he's going to work very hard on his family, on his wife, and every other person around him, because he himself should be a man of the Bible. If you read the Bible, you see it there. And I want to appreciate the fact that Baba ADEBOYE has been able to stand as a symbol of Christianity. And I think he has been the best leader for that church in the last 4-5 decades. And talking about philanthropism, Baba is doing a lot. You go to the prisons across the country, every Sunday, there is bread they bring to the prison people in the image. Though we don't know how they do it, but in some prisons, most prisons, from different parishes, there is bread, there is little provision they bring to prison people. Baba ADEBOYE is doing what we call silent philanthropism. Under him, there are a lot of things happening that he himself might not want to publicize, but we discover. But most essentially, we discover the character of a Christian. That is by the side. The next person we want to thank on this broadcast, we want to thank Governor Demola Adeleke of Osun State for forgiving the young boy that was jailed and sent to the gallows for allegedly stealing a fowl. You know, at times when people think, and they don't think from the perspective of spiritual inclination, when they don't think from the part of philosophy, they say all sorts of things. I've seen people say, oh yes, the judge gave the judgment because the guy was armed. They said he has been stealing, he has been doing this, he has been doing that. Okay, but from what we gather, the guy has spent over 10 years in prison, and now they say he should go and be killed. If Governor Adeleke was a wicked governor, he would have signed that death warrant. But Governor Adeleke is also a Christian. And you know, from the one that he has come into that position, I've always loved him. And why do I have a passion and a sentiment for him? I like the way he dances. I like his crazy humility. Governor Jackson Demola Adeleke is a very humble person. He behaves like King David. He danced to God without minding whose horse is God. He dances so humbly. He came to Chief Commander Asabe, another very good, wonderful man. Came to his birthday last April, that was last year, when Baba was doing 82nd birthday, and the governor took the mic and he was singing Baba's oldies, sang his praise song, sang his folklore, sang everything. And he didn't mind. Even though his bodyguards, they are the worst set of people, they are the worst bodyguard among all the governors in Nigeria. They always, you know, they misbehave, they try to rubbish people, break cameras, push journalists and all that. But Governor Adeleke is a fantastic man, and I've always wished that God bring him to that position. And I thank God that God brought him, despite the political flakes here and there, the political darts here and there, despite the cheating of 2018 when he won and they used some very obnoxious political jargons to steal his mandate and all that. But thank God he came back. He came back. He came back. And today is a blessing to Osun State for the fact that he forgave that guy. He pardoned that guy. You know, he pardoned the guy. You know, that is an act of Christianity. We want to appreciate Governor Demola Adeleke of Osun State for the fact that he didn't allow, he was not blind to justice. He was able to, he was able to forgive the young man, and he didn't allow people to mislead him. He listened to himself. He listened to his instinct. He listened to God, and he acted like a Christian. I saw a video where the young man was thanking the governor and appreciating the governor for the kind of mercy extended to him, you know, and I felt so very proud of the governor. I felt so proud of you know, the humility and the kindness of Governor Demola Adeleke. That is fantastic. That is an act of Christianity. And on this note, I believe unto God. I believe God that Governor Demola Adeleke will win a second term. By God's grace, he will win it, and I pray that he will not be arrogant, he will not be misled, he will not misbehave, especially on the matter of that wonderful woman, Justice Adepele Ojo. God will direct him. He will not be pushed to ridicule that woman out of service. He will use his discernment, and God will help him. I want to appreciate the governor for that Christian act, and I want to encourage him to keep dancing. Demola, jíjó ẹsẹ̀ rẹ, ìwọ ló mọ̀, ìwọ ló ṣe. Óyá jíjó ẹsẹ̀ rẹ, Demola, jíjó ẹsẹ̀ rẹ, ìwọ ló mọ̀, ìwọ ló ṣe. Óyá jíjó ẹsẹ̀ rẹ. Continue to dance, and the more you dance, the more the angels of happiness will continue to multiply your happiness. Dance, let the enemy get frustrated. Dance, let the enemy get angry. Dance, let the toxic people get diarrhea of the head. But the more you dance, the more you recover success, victory, and political growth. And we want to also thank Barrister Dele Farutimi. Yes, that's another man who was able to stand this year, and in 2024 he stood against injustice. What happened to him was very unfortunate. I also have the same experience. In January 2024, I was arrested, handcuffed, and taken into custody. But we want to thank God. You know, some people play game. They said they got authority from the IG's office, blah blah blah. We interviewed somebody defamed someone, and all that. But we want to thank God that God appeared. God is not leaving us behind. And that's why I said it initially that we are still on it, you know. So, but Barrister Dele Farutimi, I want to appreciate you for the courage, because one of the most unfortunate things in life is for where the poor man, where the ordinary man put his mind, or where the ordinary man feel he can get restitution or get justice, for that place to be monetized. When gratitude is being monetized, when honesty is being monetized, when truthfulness is being monetized, when justice is being monetized, then we have no society. We have a very brute society, because that means that we will not be able to seek redress in the court of law again. We need to maybe take laws into our hand. And if the fundamental aspect of civilization is corrupted, then there's a big problem. In our country, in Nigeria, we should have people who can stand up and say this is not the right thing to do, that citizen A wants an election and you give the victory to citizen C, or citizen number one won overwhelming election. People love it, people voted, it was clear, it was obvious, expensively obvious, you know, emotionally obvious, you know, mathematically obvious, and you gave the victory to another person. And it was also obvious from the cold reaction. And today, you see, everybody is not happy. But so when the Barrister Dele Farutimi is in a country like us, we should appreciate people like that. we should appreciate him, and we should continue to pray for him. Don't ever think that your prayer is small. Pray, 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 pray for people like that, and pray for people that support people like that. And the next person I'm going to thank is His Excellency Governor Peter Obi. We will appreciate him because he paid the bound 30 million for Barrister Dele Farotimi. You know what Peter Obi is doing is beyond ethnic maturity, is beyond ethnic inferiority. He's an Igbo man, and he was able to pay 30 million bond for a Yoruba man in distress. He even did a Christian act. He went to the offended side to go and appeal, to go and beg. He went to see the elder man, Chief Babalola. He went to see him, and he tried to mediate. But beyond that, he put himself forward to help a man who is in distress for the truth. One of the worst things is for you to be incarcerated for what is right, for what is just. Peter Obi has been going round in the last 12 months, pacifying people of vulnerable status, people of vulnerable challenge in the country, going to IDP camps, both in Borno and some other northern part of Nigeria, even southwest here, doing a lot of humanitarian activities and all that. And he has been able to be so polite, so gentle, going about just like Jesus Christ, calming his crowd of supporters, calming them down, to wait, to watch, to be gentle, never to provoke anger and all that. So we should appreciate His Excellency Dr. Peter Obi for this noble behavior. This is what earns a lot of people a Nobel Prize. And Peter Obi is not just deemed for leadership at the apex of political ladder. Is also deemed for leadership in our hearts. We should continue to pray for him. We should continue to support him. And if not for any reason, we should double the support, so that in the next few years from now, we can say, please, we still need you. I want to thank you for supporting Barrister Farotimi and some other people of valuable voices across Nigeria. We want to also thank our brother, Mr. Omoyele Shuwore. Let me call him Comrade Omoyele Shuwore. He's a man of conscience. He's a man of courage. He's a man of determination. He's a man of intellectual sagacity. He's a man of principle. He's a man of the future. And all you have been doing, we cannot itemize them. Everything you do, we watch, we look, we appreciate you. Thousands of people might disdain, might talk ill about you, might abuse you, might badmouth you, might even badmind you, but trust God, trust us. Majority is appreciative. Majority is applauding. Majority appreciates your simple action of nobility, your simple action, your service of love, your service of justice unto the majority and unto the vulnerable citizen of Nigeria. We want to appreciate what you are doing, both journalistically and through activism and every other way around. Your opinions, your writings, your publication, your media courage, and everything comes in torrents of gratitude. We want to appreciate you, Mr. Comrade Omoyele Shuwore, and every other person that is like him in any ramification. People that are supporting Comrade Omoyele Shuwore, we want to appreciate you too, and we pray that your yearnings will be accepted by God. We want to appreciate you. Then the other person I want to appreciate is Very Dark Man. Thank you for coming on board. Thank you for taking it upon yourself to strive, to work, to think, to fight for the ordinary citizen. and to add a voice to the community of people that fight for the right of others, the community of right activists. Mr. Asabe is a very great guy, very courageous, very daring, and I think this is his time, this is his season. With time, many people like him will come out. He has learned his lesson, he has learned the rope, he's learning fast. He's a friendly person, but in most cases you might not need to be friendly with a lot of people. You might need to be distinctive and just be friendly with few, be pleasant with many. That is the theory of life. But I want to thank him, I want to thank you, I want to appreciate you, and a whole lot of other people in London, in America, especially people that are voicing for the church, people that are saying what is happening in the church, we should change, people that are trying to correct the ills in the church. And I want to let you know, this is 2025. Most of these people you are watching all over, from Auntie Aduni to Mrs. Maureen Badejo to Lady Evangelist, Funke Ashekun, and all of them. You should not do the mistake of seeing them as Antichrist. They are not Antichrist. Most of them are Christians. Maybe you will see, you might want to say, okay, Auntie Aduni is nearer to what you are thinking. Yeah, but let's look at them as Christians. Let's look at them as valuable vessel in the hand of God, trying to use, when you live in a house, you use the broom to clean the environment so that the environment will be neat. You use the duster to clean the furniture so that the furniture will be clean. That is the role of most of these people in the church. Their courage, their anticipation, throwing their integrity into things like this to say, okay, this is not good, this is good, let's check out ourselves. It is not ordinary. It is by God's grace. You could look at their life and see other things they are doing. They are not Antichrist. They are just valuable vessels in the hand of God. And in year 2025, we should pray for them. We should learn from them. We should see what we can look and try to learn and pray for the church. When somebody criticizes a minister, go and check the Bible and ask yourself, what this minister is doing, is it corroborating what the Bible states for people of such status? Like when I was appreciating Baba ADEBOYE the other time, I was able to attach his character traits to a book of 1 Timothy from, 1 Timothy from chapter 3. That's chapter 3 from verse 1 to 7. You look at that Bible aspect. Then I also took you to Matthew 18 verse 21 and the other part of the Bible whereby you will see the character of a general overseer, the character of a man of God, the character of a church leader, the character of a leader of thought. Then you ask yourself, you look at Baba ADEBOYE, you look at Pastor W.F. Kumuyi, you look at Bishop Mike Okonkwo, you look at Pastor Tunde Bakare, you look at who is the other one that is helping people? You look at Pastor Sam Adeyemi, you look at a lot of them like that in that range. You ask yourself, are they really thoroughly Christian breed? Then when you can see those elements in their life, you can see the biblical fascination, you can see the biblical interest, how Jesus said it in the Bible that okay, somebody you don't try to kill people because they offended you, and Jesus even said the standard is 70 times 7 times, meaning that somebody have to offend you as a Christian leader, as a Christian, before you can say okay, I'm tired of you. Yes, there are some dangerous situations. Yes, there are people that are evil. If somebody want to deal with you, want to rob your church, or want to eliminate you, and you get to know, you can tell the person, don't come to my church. We have the story of a pope that an assassin attacked some time ago, and after some time, even though he got the shot, maybe they arrested the assassin, I don't know, I'll go and look at the story, if you can check it on the internet, and that pope met the person that wanted to kill him, and prayed for him, hugged him. He said he has forgiven him. That is a classical act of Christianity. And that is what you see in people like ADEBOYE, in people like Bishop Mike Okonkwo, in people like Williams Falonjo Kumuyi, in people like Sam Adeyemi, who is even very humble to a fault, in people like who again among them there? We have a lot of them that I can't recall their name now. But Baba ADEBOYE is a standard. Yes, he has a shortcoming. Thousands and thousands and thousands. But when it comes to the act of Christianity, act of forgiveness, act of taking eyes off criticism, act of redefining himself in the face of massive criticism, Baba ADEBOYE is number one. We have other great men of God like Baba Joseph Babalola, Baba Daniel Orekoya, Baba Timothy Oluwole Obadari, Baba Joseph Odubanjo, and a lot of great people. Our own Baba Samuel Bilewu Oshofa. In his own time, when people steal money in the church, what Baba will say is, Efisile, Echekumagbelo, Efisile, Efisile, Echekumagbelo. Because Baba knows that the person who stole the money is already in the danger of God. But you want me with that job? So why should you use police to put him in the cell? Efisile, Echekumalo. Efisile, Echekumalo. And you know, Oshofa died without any amount in his bank account. He was a terrific philanthropist, a crazy philanthropist. They bring the money, he shares it. He was sponsoring a lot of children in school. A lot of them became graduates and successful in life. He passed away, and his children, people were contributing money. I think the new Owoboku of Ijeshaland was one of those who sponsored Oshofa's children in school. Go and find out, Chief Astro. So these are the kind of Christian leader we had in those days. And I'm sure that was the life Baba Ushita also lived, Aladura, and Moses Olumolade Twalashi. Not people who hand people to jail, who arrest people, who drill people, and come and pretend on the stage and still be calling the name of Jesus and be pretending as if they are holy or holy, and you look at it and your head is bursting. You know, so we want to appreciate all these people, and we want to say that in 2025, in your church, ask yourself, am I in the right atmosphere? The thing about glory is a very big thing, because the thing about glory is not something that you joke with. Don't put your life in the hand of a man of God. Don't let them over control your life. Be discerning. You can follow prophets. On our channel, we have a lot of prophets. Reach out to them. The one that appeals to your problem. I want to let you know, because we have a lot of people around the world. Some people think, oh, this prophet is expensive. Oh, he's asking me to bring so amount of money. Oh, this prophet. Well, the good news is this. In the Bible, there's what we call the prophet's offering. If you look at the portion of the Bible where they were going to Israel to go and look for a lost, I think a sheep or something like that. I think it's in the time of Samuel, Prophet Samuel. You look at that portion of the Bible, it says when they were going, they took along with them the offering of the prophet. Meaning that it is a tradition to also always give prophet, because prophets are people that live a very terrific life. And when I'm saying terrific life, a prophet is living, if you see a good prophet, they're always fasting, they're always praying, they're always seeking the face of God on behalf of themselves for power, and on behalf of people that are consulting them for victory. There is no prophet that has legion of people that is not praying for those people to succeed. Now, if you are consulting a prophet, there is nothing harmful in going with the offering of a prophet. When Abraham was coming back from his war and he brought a lot, he went to the king of Meshach, that king of Salem or whatever, and he gave him 10% of his earnings from the war. Why? Because there was tradition of gift of prophet in those days. You take a gift, except in essential situations, like in the book of 1 Kings chapter 13 verse 20 downward, where a prophet was asked not to take anything on his journey. So prophets were given clear orders from God, don't take anything. And the book of Numbers 2:22 and 23, where Balaam was asked not to take anything from Balak, but Balaam broke the law. So it is a very obvious thing. When you call a prophet, if his ministry is for you to cook or to do ikpese or to cook for ordinary people to eat, if your faith is attached to it and you're a celestial or you are celestially inclined, then why not? Who knows? Because a lot of people, there are different channels to the miracle of God. There are different channels. Some will pray it out of their problem, and some will only observe what I call referral sacrifices. Some they will tell them just go and cook for beggars. Some they will tell them go and dash so amount of people, so things, and your ways will be cleared. It is not the food you are giving them that matters. What God is trying to use is the authority in their mouth. Ìwọ tán ṣépè fún, tán ti kàn ọ̀rẹ́ pa, tán fi àfọ̀ṣẹ, tán fi ṣépè fún ẹ, tán parí iṣẹ́, tán dì síbi kan. Ó wá pé wòlíì wá ní nǹkan tán rí nínú ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ, nǹkan báyìí lọ́n ṣe fún ẹ o. Wọ́n dènà mọ́ ẹ, wọ́n ṣe báyìí, ṣùgbọ́n tó bá lè ṣe oúnjẹ fáwọn aláìní, then ẹ jẹ́ ká gbàdúrà ọjọ́ 3, ẹ jẹ́ gbàdúrà ọjọ́ 7. Àwọn aláìní tó ń ṣe oúnjẹ fún yẹn, oúnjẹ tó ń ṣe yẹn, ilẹ̀kùn kan ló fẹ́ ṣí. Kí ló dé tàbí ń ṣe fún wọn? Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn afọ́jú ni wọ́n, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn arọ ni wọ́n, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn gan wọn súnmọ́ ọkùnrin, wọn súnmọ́ obìnrin fọ́jọ́ tó ti pẹ́. Àṣẹ wà lẹ́nu wọn. Níwọ̀n ìgbà tó ń jẹ oúnjẹ yẹn, tó sọ pé àdúrà àgbà, àwọn màlẹ́kà, àwọn áńgẹ́lì kan wà tó ti kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀, tó ti wọ́n sáìn ẹ̀ torí pé ọ̀rọ̀ tó jáde láti ẹnu wọn. Ó ní nínú James 5:16, ó ní nǹkan tó lọ sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú ìwé James 5:16. I want to just take you there so that you know what and how some spiritual things work. And that is what I want to drive home today. And because a lot of people will not understand these things, and they will look at it and say, oh, why should I do this? Is this good for me to do? Or am I on the right track or whatever? Yes, in most cases you're on the right track. The only thing is that you need a spiritual discretion. You need a spiritual discretion to help you get what you want from God, and to help you to be able to actualize. Okay, you look at it. They say go and bless ordinary people, go and give them gifts, go and cook for them, or go and bless men of God. For instance, in Celestial Church of Christ now, they might give you a message, go and sew cloth for 3 elders, or go and sew a uniform for your shepherd, or go and cook food for the whole church, or go and bless beggars by the railway side. If you call the prophet and they say, you have to cook food for people or cook food for, and it gives you a message that is related to your problem. So why can't you look at it critically and see your faith? Like we saw it here in the book of James 5:16. And I'm going to read it in Yoruba. He said, ẹ jẹ́wọ́ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ yín fún ara yín, kí ẹ sì máa gbàdúrà fún ara yín, kí a lè mú yín lára dá. Iṣẹ́ tí àdúrà olódodo ń ṣe ní agbára púpọ̀. Meaning that the prayer of the righteous is powerful. He said, confess your faults to one another and pray for one another, that ye may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. Iṣẹ́ tí àdúrà olódodo ń ṣe ní agbára púpọ̀. Tó bá sọ fún mi pé kò ṣe pèsè, ó lọ tọ́jú èèyàn kó ṣe nìkan kò sí nǹkan tí èèyàn ṣe fún ìránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run ọ̀ tí wòlíì gidi sọ yẹ kó ṣe tí kò ní èrè. Bíbélì fi wá pé tí a bá wòlíì rìn ẹni tó bá gba ọ̀rọ̀ wòlíì gbọ́ á jèrè wòlíì. Lóòtítọ́ àwọn wòlíì ká wà o, àwọn wòlíì bálámù wà o, àwọn wòlíì oṣó wà o, gbogbo náà lọ ní kọ́sítọ́mà tiwọn náà, gbogbo ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ lẹ ti rọ́ọ̀lù. Ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí ẹ bá pàdé wòlíì òtítọ́ tó ń fi ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run bọ yín tó dẹ̀ ń sọ tó ń rí bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ìpè ẹ̀ dájú kò sí tó bad. Èèwọ̀ wá ní fún yín pé kẹ wá máa sọ pé kẹ wá gbẹ́jọ́ wòlíì A kẹ gbé lọ fún B kẹ ní ẹ fẹ́ ní ìlówó ẹni ó gba yín bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe ń ṣe màlẹ́kà wòlíì yẹn á máa ṣépè fún yín tó ẹ pé wòlíì òtítọ́ ni o ṣùgbọ́n tó ẹ pé wòlíì ìkà ni kò sí nǹkan tó máa lè ṣe fún yín torí Bíbélì ní ká má ṣe bẹ̀rù wọn. Bíbélì ní ká má bẹ̀rù irú àwọn wòlíì bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tó ẹ pé wòlíì òtítọ́ kò sí nǹkan tó sọnù sọ́dọ̀ wòlíì. Ìgbàgbọ́ ẹnìkan ló need láti mú ẹ lára dá. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní ìgbàgbọ́ tí kò mú wọn lára dá tó wá ní ṣe nǹkan fáwọn aláìní ṣe nǹkan báyìí tó dẹ̀ rí pé lótìtọ́ ilẹ̀ ọlọ́ràá níbẹ̀. Wòlíì tí Ọlọ́run ń lò láti dá àwọn opó lóhùn láti dá àwọn aláìní lóhùn tó ń ta àwọn èèyàn lọ́rẹ tó yẹ pé nínú nǹkan tẹ́ ń fún ó tó ń fún àwọn èèyàn ilẹ̀ ọlọ́ràá ni wòlíì náà torí pé kì í ṣe ẹni tó ń kó nǹkan pamọ́ kì í ṣe ẹni tó ń kó nǹkan tó ń dá nǹkan jẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń fún ló ń fún àwọn èèyàn ó ń ṣètọrẹ àánú ó mì pé nípa ẹsẹ̀ wòlíì náà ẹ̀yin náà ti ṣètọrẹ àánú ọ̀nà yín gbọ́dọ̀ là ayé yín gbọ́dọ̀ dá ìmí ìdẹ̀rẹ̀ ogun ẹ̀ ó gbọ́dọ̀ dé orí òkè tó bá dé orí òkè náà wàá ṣàdá májẹ̀mú tó bá gbàdọ̀ wá ní Olúwa nǹkan tó ń ṣe mí yìí tó o bá lè jẹ́ kó lọ níwòye àmọ́dún máa ṣe lè fún ẹ tàbí mo jẹ́jẹ́ máa ṣe lè fún ìjọ yìí tàbí fún wòlíì mi tàbí fún ẹni yìí gbogbo ibi tó wà ní Bíbélì ọ̀rẹ́ wòlíì wà even ní ìgbà tí ìyàn mú ní ilẹ̀ náà tí obìnrin opó yẹn tó kó nǹkan tó fẹ́ jẹun àtọmọ ẹ̀ tó ní ẹ jẹ́ ká jẹ ilé èyí tó kù yìí ká jẹ ká lọ kú wòlíì Èlíjà sọ pé kó fóun ó ló ń jẹ ìsà ká sè ká jẹ ìmì àtọmọ mi ká kú ni o wòlíì ẹni ṣe tèmi fún mi náà ní ìgbà tí wòlíì yẹn dẹ̀ jẹ́ tán tó jẹ oúnjẹ yẹn tó yó tó mọ mi ìsúre tó jáde lẹ́nu ẹ̀ kò jẹ́ kí ebi kó pa obìnrin yẹn for 3.5 years ó ní kó lọ wá àwọn pot kó lọ kó àwọn pot wá kó kó wọn wá kó ṣe pọ̀ kó kó wọn kó pọ̀ kó yá wọn ó kó wọn jọ ó ní ó yá máa fòróró díẹ̀díẹ̀ sí máa fi díẹ̀díẹ̀ sí máa fi díẹ̀díẹ̀ sí àti nǹkan tó fi ń ṣe flour ní ojoojúmọ́ tó ń ṣe àwọn pot yẹn ló mú kó tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ó ti pọ̀ kó tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ó ti pọ̀. That was a valuable miracle in the Bible nítorí pé wòlíì lo agbára ẹ̀ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wòlíì ló ní àṣírí nǹkan àṣírí pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ àwọn wòlíì yẹn la ṣe ń gbé wọn wá síbí yẹn la ṣe ń jẹ́ kó bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n ẹlòmíì wótó ẹlòmíì ẹjọ́ wẹ́wẹ́ orí burúkú tó dé bá ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa orí burúkú ẹjọ́ tó fi ṣe wọ́n láti lé wọn wá kọ́ máa yí ìlú káàkiri kọ́ máa yí káàkiri bíi orí tán sangi tó wáyà ẹ gbọ́ lẹ́nu ilé ẹ gbọ́sẹ̀ ilé ẹ gbọ́ wòlíì òun ṣe nǹkan àmúṣeré wòlíì fún direction ni wòlíì ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá wá rí eléyìí tó lo àfọ̀ṣẹ fún yín tó gba nǹkan lọ́wọ́ yín tẹ́ rí pé ọ̀nà tó fi gbà kò yé yín ẹ filẹ̀ fọlọ́run ṣùgbọ́n tí bá rí eléyìí tó jó lòtítọ́ tẹ́dẹ̀ mọ̀ tẹ́mi yín sọ wípé lòtítọ́ ni tó bá ní kẹ́ ṣe ẹ ṣe nítorí pé àwọn tẹ́ fún lóúnjẹ àwọn tẹ́ lọ sí oúnjẹ fún kì í ṣe oúnjẹ tẹ̀sí fún wọn bí kò ṣe àṣẹ tó wà lẹ́nu wọn tó fẹ́ lò láti káńtà àṣẹ tó bà nǹkan jẹ́ fún yín ó lè já àjẹ́ ló ti pọ̀fọ̀ ló ti ṣọ̀fọ̀ ó lè jẹ́ aláfọ̀ṣẹ́ ló ti sọ̀rọ̀ burúkú tó fi ohun tó fi dè yín nígbà tí wọ́n bá ṣe oúnjẹ fún yín gba àtọwọ́bára tá àṣẹ dẹ̀ wà lẹ́nu wọn bóyá nínú gbogbo àwọn 30 tó jẹ oúnjẹ yín àṣẹ wà lẹ́nu bíi 7 àbí 9 àbí 21 nínú wọn tí wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ pé àdúrà gbà kíní yẹn á máa ṣí lọ kíní yẹn á fọ́ pàà tó bá dẹ̀ fọ́ ìtura ni fún wọ o nítorí pé o ti ṣe nǹkan tí àwọn ọ̀tá ò rò pé o lè ṣe o ti bà àfọ̀ṣẹ jẹ́ o ti bà ògùn jẹ́ o ti bà nǹkan tó ń dè mọ́lẹ̀ jẹ́ o ti bà nǹkan tó ń fi orí àti ìgbò tó ń fi dè ẹ́ jẹ́ tó dẹ̀ pé orí òkè náà ni wòlíì sọ pé ó yá orí òkè ẹ máa bọ̀ ẹ já gbàdúrà ẹ já lọ sórí òkè àwọn orí òkè ẹ náà orí òkè má jẹ̀mú ni wòlíì má jẹ̀mú ló lè mú ẹ lọ sórí òkè má jẹ̀mú wòlíì ibi ó máa mú ẹ lọ sórí òkè gbẹ́kúdé ni o orí òkè ìbànújẹ́ ló máa mú ẹ lọ ṣùgbọ́n wòlíì má jẹ̀mú àwọn ọmọ ẹni sórí òkè má jẹ̀mú níbi tọ́lọ́run ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ àmì àti iṣẹ́ ìyanu tọ́lọ́run ti ń tún àwọn èèyàn sílẹ̀ so nínú ọdún yìí ẹ jẹ́ kí a wà ní àkíyèsí ẹ jẹ́ ká sòótọ́ fúnra wa ká sọ òtítọ́, ká má bara wa nínú jẹ́. Àwọn tó wà ní ìjọ, ẹ yẹra yín wò. Tí nǹkan bá ti rí yín lójú, tí ìjọ yín tẹ́ bá ti pẹ́ jù ńbẹ̀, tẹ́lẹ̀ pé ogun ti bẹ̀rẹ̀, Jésù ò sọ wípé ká má kúrò níbi tí a bá wà. Jésù ní tó má gbógun tì yín ní ibì kan, ní ìlú kan, ẹ tẹ̀síwájú lọ bòmíì. Tó bá wà ní ìjọ kan tó rò yí pé wọ́n ti ń gbógun tì ẹ́, tàbí ó ti rí pé ó ti ń ráwọn àmì nǹkan ẹ̀ ò lọ déédéé mọ́, ó dé pé kó máa kanra mọ́ ẹ, tó dẹ̀ rí pé ó ń dènà àdúrà ẹ, o ò lè gbàdúrà, inú ẹ̀ ò kí ń dùn tó bá ń lọ church wọn, ó lè yẹra díẹ̀. Ẹlòmíà ní òun tí gbóhùn Ọlọ́run. Well, ó ní bọ́lọ́run ṣe ń báyàn sọ̀rọ̀ different ways. Ògbóhùn tí àwọn activities around here tó bá ti ń suggest pé nǹkan ò dẹrùn, kúrò ń bẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wà nínú ẹ̀mí nínú 2025. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣọ́ra fún àwọn nǹkan tó lè ba ògo wa jẹ́ tàbí tó lè bo ògo wa mọ́lẹ̀. Ẹni tó mọ̀ wípé kò bá ẹ lára mu, tí ìwẹ̀ ò bá tiẹ̀ mu, yẹra fún. Kì í ṣe pé o ò lè fi gbàgbọ́ bá a lò, bọ̀ fi ọgbọ́n bá a lò. Nítorí pé kí nǹkan ẹ̀ má bàa ba nǹkan tiẹ̀ jẹ́. Kí ni nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ kó yé wa nínú 2025 pé àwọn ènìyàn, àwọn the tribe, ẹ̀yà àwọn èèyàn búburú wọ́n wà lọ́tọ̀. Ẹ̀yà àwọn èèyàn búburú kò sí ní tó lè ṣe fún wọn, ibi ló máa fi san. Ìyẹn ló wà nínú ìwé Isaiah, nìyẹn wà. Tá bá lọ wo Isaiah 26 verse 10. Ọ̀nà pọ̀ nínú Bíbélì tí ọ̀rọ̀ wọn ti jáde. Ṣùgbọ́n ó dàbí inú Isaiah 26 verse 10 yẹn, ó ní nǹkan t'Ọlọ́run sọ ńbẹ̀ yẹn tí kò tí ì yé àwọn èèyàn, ṣùgbọ́n tí a fẹ́ kó yé àwọn èèyàn. Ó ní, ẹ máa gbọ́, ó ní bí a bá fi ojú rere hàn ènìyàn búburú, ó ní tí a bá fojú rere hàn èèyàn búburú, ó ní kì yóò kọ́ òdodo. Ó ní bí a bá fojú rere hàn èèyàn búburú, kì yóò kọ́ òdodo. Ní ilẹ̀ ìdúróṣinṣin ni òun yóò hùwà àìṣòótọ́. Ó ní kì yóò rí ọlá ńlá Olúwa. Now, kí ni nǹkan tó ń sọ mẹ́ẹ̀? Ó ní let favour be shewed to the wicked, yet will he not hear learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. Now, ẹ máa gbọ́, bí a bá fojú rere hàn èèyàn búburú, gbẹ́nìdà tó o bá ṣe rere fẹ́yàn búburú, o tọ́jú àjẹ́, o tọ́jú èké, o tọ́jú wòlíì ìkà, o sọ di èèyàn, o ṣe nǹkan ọ̀fẹ́ fún. Dàbí èèyàn kan tó mọ̀ pé ìyà ń jẹ níbì kan, o tún ṣe níbì kan, wọ́n fi sí ipò kan, ipò tó ń fi sí yẹn, ìwọ ló tún wá fẹ́ máa fi gbógun tì. Wàá ti mọ̀ pé ènìyàn búburú ni. Kò bá pè rẹ̀ ní prophet, kó pè rẹ̀ ní pastor, kó pè rẹ̀ ní evangelist, kó pè rẹ̀ ní elder. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ èèyàn búburú, èèyàn burúkú wà lára ẹ̀. Ó ní bí a fi ojú rere hàn èèyàn búburú, kì yóò kọ́ òdodo. Meaning that kò ní lè hùwà òdodo, kò ní lè hùwà òtítọ́, ìwà burúkú ló sì máa wù. Ó ní ní ilẹ̀ ìdúróṣinṣin ni òun yóò hùwà àìṣòótọ́. Ní ibi tó fi sí, níbi tó rò pé inú ẹ̀ dùn pé aṣojú ẹ̀ ń bẹ̀, nínú nǹkan rere tó ṣe fún, nínú ìdúróṣinṣin tiẹ̀, á hùwà tí ó da yẹn ṣáá ni. Wàá máa wò pé bó ṣe wọ́n lé tó, bó ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ dáadáa tó, ṣé ìwọ ló tún yẹ kó jẹ́ victim ẹ̀? Bí olórí burúkú èèyàn ṣe rí nìyẹn o. Kò bá jẹ́ àgbàlagbà, kò bá jẹ́ 46, kò jẹ́ 45, kò bá jẹ́ 50, kò bá jẹ́ any age, kò bá jẹ́ ọmọ kékeré. So nínú 2025, identify irú àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀, fi ọgbọ́n bá wọn lò. Ẹ máa gbọ́, ó ní, ẹ máa gbọ́ nǹkan tí Bíbélì wa sọ̀rọ̀. Ó ní ilẹ̀ ìdúróṣinṣin ni òun yóò hùwà àìṣòótọ́, kì yóò rí ọlá ńlá Olúwa. Ní ilẹ̀ ìdúróṣinṣin ó máa ṣìwàwù, á hùwà àìṣòótọ́. Then nǹkan míì tí Ọlọ́run tó fẹ́ lò ẹ́ fún kò ní wáyé mọ́, torí wàá ti mọ̀. Táwọn èèyàn tó bá máa sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ fáwọn èèyàn, nǹkan tó ṣe fún ẹ ni wàá máa sọ wíwẹ́, èèyàn báyìí ni òbẹ̀ tó ti ṣerú nǹkan báyìí fún mi ní ìgbà báyìí. So bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú ọdún irú àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n pọ̀ ní ìjọ, irú àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n pọ̀ ní agbègbè ibi tá à ń gbé. irú àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n pọ̀ níbi tí a ti ń ṣiṣẹ́. Sashina Peters ó ní ká tó dáyé kán tó bí wa kán tó bí bàbá wa, ká tó dáyé kán tó bí wa kán tó bí bàbá wa ni ìwà ọ̀dàlẹ̀ ti wá, a ò mà rí solution sí. Ọmọ ènìyàn yé o lọ ṣọ́ra o. Nínú ọdún yìí ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ ṣọ́ra. Nínú ìjọ àwọn tó rò pé wọ́n ń gba èrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀, especially ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní ìjọ aláṣọ funfun, ẹlòmíì nígbà tó máa ń kọ jerímọ̀ yàmà, ìgbà yẹn ló máa ṣeré, ìgbà yẹn ló máa tẹ fóònù, ìgbà yẹn lèèyàn kan máa wá gba bọ̀bọ̀ yìí àwọn olórí burúkú jàtijàti níwájú pẹpẹ. Ìgbà yẹn ló máa ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ rí nǹkan tó ṣe máa gba bọ̀ yìí wọ́n ń kọ jerímọ̀ yàmà wọlé, ìwọ ń gbáyàn, ó ń distract èèyàn. Àwọn màlẹ́kà ló ń ṣe olè níláàrí, ó máa wà ní ìjọ yẹn for 10 years, àwọn kan máa pè é lójú kan, ó lè wà ń bẹ̀ for 20 years kó máa pè é lójú kan, torí o fún ìjọsìn ní concentration, o dẹ̀ jẹ́ káwọn màlẹ́kà kan ṣiṣẹ́ wọn. Kó jẹ́ pé ìgbà tí ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run lọ lẹ́yìn wà lórí fóònù nínú ìjọ Ọlọ́run, nínú court of law wọn bí ẹ̀dá kó tan fóònù nígbà tí adájọ́ bá jókòó, ká máa sọ níwájú pẹpẹ, ó wá jókòó, ìgbà yẹn ló ń tẹ fóònù, ìgbà yẹn ló ń oríṣiríṣi lórí fóònù, ìgbà yẹn lẹ́jọ́ ń sọ̀rọ̀, lẹ́jọ́ ń gist, ìgbà yẹn lẹ́lòmíì máa gbáyàn, wọ́n máa ṣe ránù, àwọn èèyàn ráúra ẹ̀dẹ̀ máa rí wọn, àìdá kí irun wọn kó má ṣe irun wọn dáadáa, ọ̀ọ́kán ti búra, ọ̀ọ́kán sanra ìyà, ìwà ráúráú, ìwà játijàti, ìwà rédèrèdè. Irú àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú ọdún yìí ẹ yẹra fún wọn. Dọ́gbọ́n yẹra kí o bá lè rí ayọ̀ tiẹ̀ mú, kó bá lè rí ire tiẹ̀ gbà, kí ìgbẹ̀yìn ọdún bá lè dára fún ẹ. Then a padà wá, a fẹ́ dúpẹ́, a kàn fẹ́ sọ fún yín ní ṣókí kẹ́ lè mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wá tún sáré lọ ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tí Ọlọ́run ń lò lórí channel yìí, àwọn tí ó jẹ́ wòlíì tí Ọlọ́run ń lò fún wa. A fẹ́ dúpẹ́ ní ọwọ́ yín gidigidi. A fẹ́ dúpẹ́ ní ọwọ́ yín gidigidi. In fact, a fẹ́ dúpẹ́ nítorí pé ọpẹ́ tá a dún yìí kò pọ̀ kò tó, ṣùgbọ́n a ó máa dúpẹ́ sí lọ títí láé. Àdúrà wa ni pé ẹ ní wálẹ̀. A fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Prophet Olúṣẹ́gun Joshua Adébáyọ̀ ti ìjọ Christ Apostolic World End Time Revival Ministry Kawan. Bàbá yìí wọ́n ti ṣe oríṣiríṣi nǹkan mèremère nínú ayé wa. Ọlọ́run lò wọ́n fún wa lọ́nà kan náà ní gbogbo ọ̀nà, nípa àdúrà, nípa motivation, nípa nǹkan ìṣúra. Ọlọ́run lò wọ́n fún wa gan tí a gbọ́dọ̀ pa irọ́. Láti ìgbà tó ti wọnú ayé wa ní tá a ti mọ̀ wọ́n ní June 2021, tá a ti interview wọn ní June 2021 ni Ọlọ́run ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ àmì látara wọn. Wòlíì tó níná nínú ni wọ́n. Wòlíì tí ìpè ń bá gbé, tí ìpè ń bá yí ni wọ́n. Wòlíì tí kò ṣe kọlù, òun ni wọ́n o. Àwọn áńgẹ́lì tó bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́ ó lẹ́yìn agbára gidigidi. Wòlíì tó ti go through ẹ̀kọ́, tó gba ẹ̀bùn, tó tún gba ẹ̀kọ́, tó tún gba ìmọ̀, ó ní Prophet Joshua Olúṣẹ́gun Adébáyọ̀. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín fún ohun tí ẹ ṣe fún 2024, pàápàá jùlọ lórí ohun gbogbo tó dìde sí wa, bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe dìde, gbogbo tó ju yín rí la mọ̀. Ènìyàn ṣọjọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ púpọ̀, ṣùgbọ́n a fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. A dẹ̀ rọ̀ gbogbo yín ní gbogbo àgbáyé kẹjọ, ẹ máa fi àdúrà ran bàbá náà lọ́wọ́. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, iṣẹ́ ìránṣẹ́ yín ò ní dàrú. Àwọn ọmọ tẹ́ bí wọ́n á jù yín lọ. Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kẹ́mi yín gùn o. Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kí ìpè yín kó gbórin. Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kí ìpè yín kó gùn pẹ̀lú. Lágbára ṣe Èdùmàrè, agbára náà ò ní tán, ìmọ̀ náà ò ní tán, òye náà ò ní tán, ẹ̀mí náà ò ní dágbére fún yín. Àìṣe máa dúpẹ́ torí pé nǹkan pọ̀ tí ẹ ṣe, èyí kì í ṣe ọjọ́ ọ̀rọ̀. A tún wá fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ bàbá nínú Olúwa, Prophet Ruben Aikore, ti ìjọ Celestial Church of Christ Òkèrapadà Sele Gospel ní ìlú Ìbàdàn. Ṣe rí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà Ọlọ́run máa yẹ kí ká ṣi èèyàn mú orientation ẹlòmíì gbà mí nípa ẹlòmíì ó bad. Ṣe rí bàbá Aikore, àwọn yẹn bí Ọlọ́run ṣe tún lò wọ́n ó tún wá yàtọ̀ o. Ìpè yẹn ó ń bá wọn gbé. Ìpè tó dẹ̀ ń darí wọn ní pé bàbá SBJ Ọ̀ṣọ́fà, nítorí pé wòlíì Aikore fúnra rẹ̀ inú ìjọ Deeper Life ló ti jáde wá, ìjọ Gbẹrẹfu ló ti jáde wá. Gbẹrẹfu Bíbélì yé wọn gidigidi. Tí wọ́n bá ń ṣe ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́, tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Bible, á dàbí pé wọ́n ń ṣe Bible training, á dàbí ìgbà tó yẹ pé wọ́n ń ṣe theological class.
àìkọ́rẹ́ lè mú ọ̀rọ̀ kan nínú Bible nínú passage kán dẹ̀ sọ di ọ̀rọ̀ ńlá, kán dẹ̀ fi analyze òye bíbélì yé wọn, ṣùgbọ́n agbára la fi mú wọn fún ìjọ Celestial. So gbẹrẹfu wà lára wọn, ìmísí wà lára wọn, ṣùgbọ́n kí ló wá ṣẹlẹ̀? Ohun tó ń ṣe fún wa ní 2024 ó kọjú ojú lásán. Àwọn ni wòlíì àkọ́kọ́ tí Ọlọ́run lò fún mi láti fúnyàn ní ilé. Bàbá Adébáyọ̀, àwọn náà ní 2022 àwọn ni wòlíì àkọ́kọ́ tó Ọlọ́run lò fún mi pé nídìí iṣẹ́ tí mo ń ṣe gba mọ́tò. Then ìgbà tí ogun dìde, wọ́n fi taratara wọ́n nọ́ra bí ìgbà tí bàbá èèyàn bá nọ́ra fúnyàn. Ká wá padà sórí wòlíì àkọ́rẹ́, wọ́n fún wa nílé, wọ́n tún fún wa ní mọ́tò, wọ́n dẹ̀ tún dìde. Àwọn nǹkan tó ń ṣe fún wa tí ò ṣe fẹnu sọ, kì í ṣe èmi nìkan ló ń ṣe nǹkan fún o. Mo ti bá wọn rin àwọn ìrìn kan tó jẹ́ pé mo kàn ń wò pé kí ló ń ṣe máa yìí. Pé èèyàn kan gbé ogun ológun lórí tó ń bá wọn ṣẹ́, tó ń jà fún ẹ̀tọ́ ọmọ ènìyàn, tó ń ṣe nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé nǹkan yẹn ó ń fi nira ẹ̀ lára gan. Bàbá ìkọ́rẹ́ ni o. Kán pa owó, kán kó fọ́mọ aláìní, kán pa owó, kán fi gba àwọn ọmọ tó ní òbí, tó ní olùrànlọ́wọ́, kán gbà wọ́n jáde inú ẹ̀wọ̀n. Iṣẹ́ tí Jésù ní ká máa ṣe yẹn, bàbá ìkọ́rẹ́ ń ṣe. Bàbá Adébáyọ̀ náà ń ṣe. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín, bàbá Reuben Àìkọ́rẹ́. Ọjọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ò tí tó. Kí wọ́n ní ṣókí ní ọbẹ̀ oge. Ọjọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ń bọ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run. A dè máa sọ̀rọ̀. A máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín gidi. Àtẹ̀yin àti ìyàwó yín lágbára Ọlọ́run. Gbogbo àwọn ọmọ yín á jù yín lọ. Iṣẹ́ ìránṣẹ́ yín ò ní bàjẹ́. Ògo yín á máa tàn káàkiri ayé. Ibi tọ́lọ́run lò yín sí kò ní díbàjẹ́. Àwọn tọ́lọ́run lò yín fún, ìpè yín á máa pé wọn. Ká tún wá dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ màmá prophetess Modúpẹ́ Ajélọ́wọ́. Màmá yìí náà, àwọn àtọkọ wọn jọ ń ràn níjọ. Màmá yìí ní ẹ̀bùn tó pọ̀, ẹ̀bùn wòlíì. Ní 6th of June year 2023 náà ni mo wà nínú church wọn fún ìpàdé kan. Nǹkan kan ṣẹlẹ̀ níjọ́ yẹn tó jẹ́ pé ó ní agbára. Ó ní nǹkan kan tí a fẹ́ kọ́ Ọlọ́run bá wa ṣe. Mo dẹ̀ náwó sí pẹpẹ. Mo ní Ọlọ́run, tó bá wíwọ̀ ló pé woman yìí, tó bá lóòótọ́ ló pé kì í ṣe pé nǹkan mi wá ń di ẹ̀. Mo fẹ́ kí nǹkan ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ lọ́sàn-án yìí. Mo fẹ́ rí àmì. Ìgbà tó dẹ̀ ṣe ètò yẹn tán, a ṣe interview fún wọn. Bá a ṣe interview yẹn, òjò rọ̀. Bá a ṣe ń sọ̀kalẹ̀ nínú ọ́fíìsì wọn, nǹkan tí mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ kó ṣẹlẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀. Ó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ọ̀nà méjì. Agbára Ọlọ́run farahàn. That was I think it was a Tuesday, 6th of June year 2023. So mo ti rí àmì lára yín. Mo dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ fún oore ọ̀fẹ́ tí ẹ fi ń bá wa lò, fún àdúrà tí ẹ ń gbà fún wa. Ní agbára Ọlọ́run, iṣẹ́ ìránṣẹ́ yín á máa gbòòrò sí. Ní agbára Ọlọ́run, àlàáfíà á máa jẹ́ fún yín nínú ara, nínú ẹ̀mí. Ní agbára Ọlọ́run, ẹ̀mí á gùn. Ní agbára Ọlọ́run, iṣẹ́ ìránṣẹ́ yín á gbòòrò. Àwọn ọmọ tẹ́ bí wọ́n á jù yín lọ. Ní agbára Ọlọ́run, àlàáfíà Ọlọ́run tó jọba náà, àwọn wòlíì, àwọn òjíṣẹ́ rẹ̀ kò ní fi yín sílẹ̀. Àwọn ọ̀tá yín, Ọlọ́run á bá yín mú wọn kúrò. Bó ṣe máa rí nìyẹn lórúkọ Jésù. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ pastor prophet Moses Gbọ́láhàn Bello náà tó ń jẹ́ ọmọ bàbá wa. Ọmọ bàbá Dr. Joshua Olúṣẹ́gun Adébáyọ̀. Prophet Gbọ́láhàn mùsùlùmí ni wọ́n tẹ́lẹ̀. Ọlọ́run ló ra wọn padà, ló fi wọ́n sínú iṣẹ́ ìgbàgbọ́. Òye bíbélì yé wọn, ṣùgbọ́n pàápàá jùlọ wọ́n ti kọ́ bọ́n ṣe ń ṣàánú látara ọ̀gá wọn Prophet Ṣẹ́gun Adébáyọ̀. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ń ṣàánú. Àwọn náà wọn ò fi wá sílẹ̀ ní ọdún tó kọjá. Àdúpẹ́ ní ọwọ́ wọn. Iṣẹ́ ìránṣẹ́ yín á máa gbòòrò sí. Ní agbára Ọlọ́run, Ọlọ́run á dúró tì yín o. Ẹ ní ṣìṣe o. Ọlọ́run á yọ yín nínú gbogbo tí ẹ ń ṣe. Ọlọ́run á máa gbé yín ga. Ọlọ́run bàbá Joshua Olúṣẹ́gun Adébáyọ̀ á máa wà pẹ̀lú yín títí láì, kò ní fi yín sílẹ̀. Ògo Ọlọ́run ò ní kúrò lára yín nínú ilé yín. Àwọn ọmọ yín á jù yín lórúkọ Jésù. Ẹ ṣeun gidigidi. Adúpẹ́ lọ́rọ̀ bàbá náà Apostle Níyì Àkọsílẹ̀ ti ìjọ Celestial Church of Christ agbára ọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ ṣeun. Àwọn náà ò gbẹ̀yìn. Gbogbo tí ẹ ṣe fún wa ní ọdún tó kọjá, a lè gbàgbé. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, ìpè yín ò ní bàjẹ́. Ẹ̀mí yín á gùn. Ayọ̀ yín á kún. Ìjọ yín á máa gbèrú sí, á máa gbòòrò sí. Àwọn ọ̀tá yín, Ọlọ́run á fi ìbòjì, á fi palẹ̀ wọn mọ́. Bó ṣe fi ìbòjì tó ṣe palẹ̀ àwọn ọ̀tá Daniel mọ́. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, ìpè yín ò ní bàjẹ́ o. Gbogbo àwọn tó ń gbógun tì yín nítorí pé ẹ gba Jésù gbọ́, nítorí pé ẹ ń ṣe ìfẹ́ ìjọ mímọ́, ẹ ń ṣe ìfẹ́ ọ̀ṣọ̀fà. Gbogbo wọn pátá ló máa bógun lọ. Ẹ̀mí á gùn lórúkọ Jésù. Ẹ ṣeun gidigidi. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ bàbá prophet Emmanuel Abiodun Ṣóyẹmí ti ìjọ Celestial Church of Christ ní ìlú Alápẹ̀rẹ̀. Ìjọ wọn pọ́dún méjì ní ọdún tó kọjá. Àdúpẹ́ torí pé oore ọ̀fẹ́ tẹ́ fi ń bá wa lò láti bí ọdún bíi mẹ́rin. Oore ọ̀fẹ́ náà ní agbára. Ọgbọ́n tẹ́ fi ń bá wa lò ó ní agbára. Àwọn ni wòlíì àkọ́kọ́ tó yẹ pé tá a bá interview wọn from day one, wọ́n máa ń motivate wa. Wọ́n fi ìyàwó jẹ wá rí. Prophet Emmanuel Shoyemi, wọ́n believe pé káwọn support iṣẹ́ yìí. Wọ́n máa ń ṣe ju bá ṣe rò lọ. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe nítorí ìgbéraga, wọ́n ṣe nítorí pé he strictly believe in us. Wọ́n nígbà táwọn ń wá mi, táwọn fẹ́ ṣe interview that was 2021 I think. Wọ́n láwọn wá nọ́mbà mi káàkiri, wọ́n wá nọ́mbà mi kiri, wọ́n rí. Wọ́n béèrè láwọn èèyàn kò sẹ́ni tó lè fún wọn nọ́mbà mi. Wọ́n láwọn wá gbàdúrà sọ́lọ́run fọjọ́ mẹ́ta bí àwọn fẹ́ nọ́mbà yẹn, èmi làwọn fẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀, àwọn fẹ́ bá anybody sọ̀rọ̀. Pé ìgbà t'Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ máa bá wọn ṣe, táwọn gbàdúrà yẹn tán, ẹni táwọn máa pè, first person táwọn máa pè, Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ lu ẹni yẹn, ó dẹ̀ ní nọ́mbà mi miraculously. Adúpẹ́ ní ọwọ́ Ọlọ́run bí Ọlọ́run ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Ó yí Ọlọ́run bí èmi àti ń ṣe pàdé. Mo dẹ̀ appreciate gbogbo ohun tí ẹ ń ṣe fún wa di wákàtí. Ìpè yín ò ní bàjẹ́ lórúkọ Jésù. Ìpè yín ò ní bàjẹ́ lórúkọ Jésù. Ìpè yín ò ní bàjẹ́ lórúkọ Jésù. Ìmọ́lẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ní fa yín sílẹ̀. Ẹ̀rí bàbá Ọ̀ṣọ́fà kò ní fi yín sílẹ̀ o. Ìjọ yín á máa gbèrú sí ẹ pẹ́ láyé, ẹ gùn lẹ́mìí. Oore ọ̀fẹ́ Ọlọ́run á gbé yín dúró, àwọn ọmọ yín á jù yín lọ. Adúpẹ́ ní ọwọ́ yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ló. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó tún kù tá a tún lè rántí àtàwọn tá a rántí. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn, àwọn eléyìí ló wà níwájú tí wọ́n ń ṣe nǹkan fún wa. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Witness Ken Paul náà. Tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n máa ń fọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run bọ́ wa ní gbogbo ọ̀nà, ní gbogbo ibi. Àwọn náà wọ́n lọ sí Europe láìpẹ́ yìí, wọ́n busy. Igbo ni wọ́n, ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo ìwé tó ń kọ nípa Jésù, nípa agbára Ọlọ́run, àwọn ìwé yẹn ó really help, wọ́n edify lágbára Ọlọ́run. Àwọn ni witness làwọn pera wọn, but wọ́n ti ní ìjọ rí, ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ní Ọlọ́run ṣe káwọn close down church. So wọ́n kàn ń kọ ìwé ni, wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run, wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ òye Bíbélì yé wọn gidigidi. Òye ìjọ ẹ̀mí ó yé wọn gidigidi, òye ìjọ ara náà ó yé wọn gidigidi. Agbára Ọlọ́run náà kò ní fi wọ́n sílẹ̀. Lọ́dún tó kọjá ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀, ṣùgbọ́n lọ́dún yìí lágbára Ọlọ́run a ó mọ̀ bí a ṣe máa tún máa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ẹ̀. Lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan a máa múlò àwọn broadcast báyìí wá ká lè máa tọ́ra wa sọ́nà. Ṣùgbọ́n nínú 2025 mo fẹ́ bẹ̀ yín, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ watch ara yín. Ìjọ tẹ̀ ń lọ, ẹ sọ òtítọ́ fúnra yín. Kò sí ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ nínú kẹ́ kúrò ní ìjọ kan kẹ́ bọ́ sínú ìjọ míì tí ogun bá dìde tì yín. Kò sí ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ nínú ẹ̀. Christianity ni ò gbọdọ̀ parẹ́. But ìjọ kò sí ohun tó kan Jésù, kò sí ohun tó kan Jésù pẹ̀lú ìjọ. Ohun tó kan Jésù ni iṣẹ́ ìrere, ìjèrè ọkàn, salvation àti ìríjú. Tí ẹni tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ìríjú tí ò bá lè ṣe mọ́, tí ọ̀nà yẹn ti dàrú, ẹ wá iṣẹ́ ìríjú lọ sí ibòmíì kí ìgbàlà yín kó má bàa díbàjẹ́. Ọlọ́run á máa ràn yín lọ́wọ́. Tó bá tún di next time tá a máa jókòó, a máa ṣe broadcast lórí àwọn wòlíì àti bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe lè máa bá wọn lò àti ìdí oríṣiríṣi wòlíì tó wà ń ta. Èyí tí ó yẹ kí ẹ tọ́ka sí, èyí tó yẹ kí ẹ mọ̀, èyí tí kò yẹ kí ẹ mọ̀. Ọlọ́run á ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ ká bọ́ sínú àhámọ́ ọwọ́ mi tẹ̀. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ ká bọ́ sínú àjàgà ayé títí di àsìkò tí a tún máa padà wá. Ọlọ́run tó ní ọdún tuntun á ṣe ohun tuntun ayé lórúkọ Jésù. We are closing this broadcast now. I want to appreciate the fact that we have been able to speak with you. For our listeners, please, 2025 is the new year. I said it that if you are in a church and you discover that things are not going well, or you are being tormented one way or the other, or you feel that your Christianity is not moving in the right direction, there is nowhere in the Bible that it is said that you should die in that church or that you should stay till anything happens to you. Jesus told his disciples that if they chase you from a city or they don't want you, leave that city, relocate to another city. If you feel slighted in your parish or you feel slighted in your church, you are free to seek the face of God elsewhere that you know that the spirit there, the vibration is clean. This year, try to extricate yourself from fraternities that are unhealthy, from collaborations that are unhealthy, from environments that are unhealthy for progress. If you're in a church and you suffer distractions, find a place whereby you can face God and worship. If you're in a celestial church and there is so much death going on or so much manipulation or so much sin, there is nothing bad in leaving a big parish and looking for a moderate parish where the Holy Spirit is full, where the Holy Spirit is full lighted, worship there and see the new face of God. If you are in a church whereby there's a lot of rough behavior, boys distracting you, especially some young people that distract you when you are doing Jerry Moyama, they just come and bounce on you, hit you, people that are always distracting. Then some are talkative. Try to avoid those kind of people this year. Face the altar, face the praise, pay your tithes. That's another thing I would like to tell you. Everything that is covenant, continue to do them. Pay your tithes to your church, to your parish, to your prophets. Pay your offering. Support God's work. But be very careful about human being. Be very careful. If your pastor is too close to your wife, close that relationship, leave that environment, change that church. Your pastor, your wife should not be much closer to your pastor than you. You are the head of the family. You brought her there. And if she brought you there, it is not a license for her to be too chummy with your pastor. Don't give room for flagrant misdemeanor. Be very careful. Be very discerning this year. It's a year of self-discovery. Discover yourself spiritually. Then engage with the tenet of that discovery. Engage responsibly. Be pleasant with many. Be conversant with very few. Be pleasant with many. Be conversant with very few. Know where you earn it, and at the end of the day, you will be able to grow. You'll be able to succeed. Don't say, because this person, if I do this, they will say this. No. Face yourself. By the next broadcast, I will talk about the ministry of prophets and why we should know them better and how we can relate with them, the rule of engagement and all that. By the grace of God, the year is going to be a good year. I wish you a very wonderful, brilliant, prosperous 2025. Thank you so much. God bless you. Goodbye.